So, hi and welcome to Watchdog Wargaming. So, I've just posed the question, what figures are GW likely to never bring back? So we're going to be a bit of time traveling on this one, back to the early 80s and the Imperial Guard. In March of 1987, Games Workshop brought out Rogue Trader, the first Warhammer 40k rule set as we know it. In January 1989, there was a White Dwarf advert advertising the two figures that we're just about to talk about. As part of their Imperial Guard metal range, GW brought out two figures. As you can see from the above picture, one was called a penitent, and that was basically he had a explosive collar around his neck that if he disobeyed his orders, the commissar or the attending officer could discipline the offending soldier by detonating the bomb collar. The second Imperial Guard figure of interest is their human bomb. The human bomb was basically sinners in the eyes of the Emperor who could redeem themselves by hurling themselves at the enemy and detonating the explosive device. Allegedly, 1 in 10 was actually a dud, that if they fulfilled their goal of surviving whilst throwing themselves at the enemy, they, in the eyes of the Emperor, had been redeemed. But how many actually survived? Well, we don't know. My second Rogue Trader army after my squats was actually the Imperial Guard, and that was probably one of my favourites because I hadn't long joined the army myself, so it was a case of it was okay, but a bit of fun. Also, as well, it's at the time there was a comic called Warlord for Boys out, and in there they had a comic strip, and it was Kampfer Group Falcon about a penal battalion, a German penal battalion on the Eastern Front, and it's a case of, you know, sort of, and that's what I sort of based my Imperial Guard penal regiment around. It was also quite good because I was able to paint different figures and different colours, different uniforms and everything else. As they were a penal battalion, they've just thrown together from all different types of troops, and it just gives it a bit more character. So the as you can see from here, you know, you could have 0 to 4 penal battalion squads at 70 points for squad, and 10 of the penitents. That's the one with the exploding head collars. The basic equipment on there was explosive collar, a flak armor, and a lasgun. And also, as well, you could actually give them friends on as well, which enabled them to go turn into frenzy. What I'm going to show you now is a couple of the figures from my old collection. Two surviving figures, one with the actual collar and one with the actual sort of human bomb figure as well. But before we go any further, incoming dad joke warning. I have deactivated these figures and they are armless. You've been warned. The figures themselves came as a single cast metal body, head, legs, but with no arms. The arms were actually separate plastic arms, and also the las rifles were plastic as well. Clearly, over the years, the figures have been they've been in the wars literally, and they need lots of TLC on them. What I eventually might do is actually strip them down and repaint them again and put some arms on them, maybe some more recent arms from the Imperial Guard or Astra Militaria and decent weapons. And now we go on to the human bombs, or the redeemed sinners. As I said, they were sinners in the eyes of the Emperor who could redeem themselves by blowing themselves up. And sort of a 1 in 10 of the actual bomb packs was a dud. And sort of they could, if they survived, then they had done their penitence and could return back to the normal Imperial Guard ranks. As you can see with these figures, they're a single metal casting again, but also with the plastic arms and additional weapons. These have also not haven't worn so well over the years, and again, I might actually strip them down and repaint them. So going back to my original question, would Games Workshop ever bring back these figures? The use of the figures, as in human bombs and exploding collars, does actually go well with the grim, dark theme of 40k and the 40k universe, including probably 30k as well, to be honest. However, taking into real life, as they found back in the 80s, it was one of the reasons why this project line was actually removed, because of the real world issues at that time. I don't think it's going to change, but it's to say it's two unique figures to have in a collection if you collect 40k figures from Rogue, certainly from Rogue Trader. So thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're all well. If you like what I'm doing, make sure you like and subscribe below, and join me for next time. So thank you, and take care now.
Squad morale restored.